Hey guys, Triple H Guy 2004 with your TNA Impact review. We kick off the show with Eric Bischoff getting out his car. A guy comes up to him and he says, Bischoff says to him, "I don't sign autographs." And the guy says, "Are you Eric Bischoff? Do you not listen?" Bischoff says, "I don't sign autographs." He hands him an envelope and he tells him that he's been served. And then we go inside to a photo shoot of Velvet Sky, and she's attacked by ODB. They fight through the arena into the Impact Zone, and they fight and gets broken up by security, and that's basically it. Miss Tessmacher comes down and, breaks it up, and they go off camera, and we see Mr. Anderson come out to Sting's music and dressed up like the old school Sting. He says that he will fight tonight somebody from his past, from Sting's past, and we go to commercial break. And then when we come back from the commercial break, they show footage of Eric Bischoff on the phone with somebody, and then they come back to the arena, and Bischoff comes out and he calls Beer Money out, and Beer Money comes out and he talks to him and he says, "This is the deal, guys. We've not heard back from your doctors. Anything else that you're not going to be able to defend your titles at the next pay-per-view, which is Slammiversary, I believe." And Bischoff then tells Beer Money that he's going to strip them of the tag team titles, and Robert Roode says this is bullcrap. I've worked my ass off. This is bullcrap. And then Alex Shelley comes out and he officially announces that his tag team partner Chris Sabin, if you didn't know, and was announced beginning of this week that Chris Sabin has torn his MCL and ACL. So they're standing in the ring, and Alex Shelley, comes out and says that he will step in for Robert Roode at the next pay-per-view and defend his one of the half of the tag titles for him with James Storm. And so they schmooze it a little bit and say that, how the hell did you get around it? We'll get around this loophole. And Bischoff says, "What are you, a lawyer?" Blah, blah, blah. So it's officially that Alex Shelley will tag up with Cowboy James Storm to defend the TNA Tag Team Championships against, I guess, the British Invasion. I think that's who the number one contenders are. And then we go to our first matchup, I believe, of the evening. It is... Oh, and then they go to break, and we see... While Bischoff was on the phone, we also see... This was before. When Bischoff was on the phone, we see Brian Kendrick come up to him, and he, gets his way, and he gets a match with Kazarian, and that match is the next match on the card. The next matchup of the card was... the night was Miss Tessmacher versus Angelina Love. I didn't really care about this match. I went to the bathroom. And then, so we come back, and the next match on the card is... Oh, sorry. In the middle of the night, we see Mr. Anderson in the back, and Eric Young comes up and talks to him, and he tells him that he's going to be facing the Great Muta. And so the match of the night is Kazarian versus Brian Kendrick, which was a phenomenal matchup. It was, it went to 10-minute draw, and the referee, got his little headset on and said that Bischoff has given permission to give the match, restart the match and give an extra 5 minutes. So they start the match again, and Abyss comes down and gives the two finishers to both Kendrick, and he gives him the shock drop to Kendrick, and he gives the Black Hole Slam to Kazarian. So the match is a draw, so we don't really know what's going to go on. It might be a triple threat match. So then we go to break, and we come back, and we have the Mr. Anderson versus the Great Muta match. So we see Mr. Anderson come out first, and then we see the Great Muta, aka it wasn't really the Great Muta, it was actually Showtime Eric Young come out dressed as the Great Muta, which wasn't a bad match. It just kind of was stupid. We actually see Eric Young winning the matchup with a roll up, and then we see at the end of the matchup, we see Gunner come down and attack Eric Young. And during that whole confrontation, we see the real Sting come down. Of course, Mr. Anderson during this match was dressed up as Sting. We see the real Sting come down and he beats up Mr. Anderson. They fight off. And then we go into our TNA Impact Wrestling, whatever you want to call it, main event. It is Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner tagging up with the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, to go up against Kurt Angle and I don't even remember who his tag team partner was. But Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner wins it. We see Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle at the top of the steps. Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett, sorry. We see them chased up to the top, and we see Angle chase after him, and Karen's at the top of the steps, and she gets knocked down. We see, Jeff go to Karen's aid, and we hear Angle up at the top of the steps. You should have never, brought this to this. She should have never been involved. And she's at the bottom of the stairs hurt. And then we close Impact Wrestling with the announcement Bischoff and Hogan come out and they say blah blah blah, and the ruling of the network is that they have terminated the contract, and throughout the night they were building up as that Bischoff was getting fired, and Impact Wrestling goes off the air with Hulk Hogan saying that Mick Foley had been fired from his position as the network representative or whatever, and that is it, guys. That was your TNA or Impact Wrestling program for June 2nd, 2011. That's it. Pretty good show. Not a lot really. A lot really happened. There wasn't too much wrestling, but there was some wrestling. This is supposedly where wrestling matters, but it was an overall. I'd give it a 6 out of 10, and that's being good, I guess. So I'll see you guys later. My name again is Triple H Guy 2004, and I will try to come back tomorrow night with a Friday Night SmackDown review. So see you guys later.